Welcome to the Edinburgh Fringe, Wilson! Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Edinburgh calling. Congratulations, you've made it through to week 2. Yes, the Fringe continues, and as always, thanks to Needfire, who've been providing music for this podcast for the last 21 seasons. How are you all doing? Ewan, Spence here, once more in the chair after a busy, packed weekend. Lots going on, reviews coming out, awards starting to be given out as well, and a little bit of a note for all of you who are around Edinburgh listening to the show to get you started. It's important to check the dates of the show. Now, I don't just mean when the show finishes. Most of them we say through to the 24th. Some are through to the 25th, through to the Monday as well. But there are also dark days. Now, it used to be tradition that this Monday, which this year, the 11th of August, would always be dark, the second Monday of the Fringe. And everybody took it off. That's not so much the case now. Not everybody's doing full runs. There's much more 1 week, 2 week, 3 week runs, so people are just doing the 7 days and leaving. There are also others that, because they're doing the full run, they start the previews on the Thursday, so they do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 6 days, take the Wednesday off, do it all again, take the Wednesday off, do it all over again. Check listings for details. I know it's a cliche, but it is worth doing when you're doing the planning. I've been caught out once or twice as well with some of the reviews. I'll come in and see you then. Oh, no, it's dark that day. Let's do it again the day after. Anyway, a little bit of advice over. Let's get on with today's interview as I welcome Narin Oz to the show. Returning to the Fringe with a fourth show, Inner Child-ish, sees Oz looking to reconnect with her titular inner child through the medium of the Tom Hanks Robert Zemeckis motion picture Castaway. Her inner child misbehaves, breaks rules, and likes to flip reality around. And behind all of this, Narin is learning to live in a world of neurotypical people surrounding her neurodiversity. Why live in that reality when you can skip over, under, around, and through? That is the secret of Inner Childish. Joining me now on the Edinburgh Fringe show from the show Inner Childish, we have Narin Oz. Welcome to the show, Narin.
Hello, Ewan. Nice to meet you virtually.
Indeed, yeah, this is the thing. We're doing this in July. We're getting close to the Fringe. How are your preparations going? How much are you looking forward to the trip up to Edinburgh?
I'm excited and scared at the same time. It's terrifying. I feel so overwhelmed and under pressure and elated at the same time. It's a very strange feeling when you're working on a show because it's always developing. It's I enjoyed the process, and yet it's deeply challenging at the same time because I'm always thinking, why am I saying this to people? Why am I doing this show? What is it that I'm trying to do? And I'm always looking back to make sure that, it's a funny, powerful, evocative piece of work that I'm doing. I'm quite enthusiastic about my piece, my show. It's my love child. I've never put so much work and passion into anything in my life, and then I've had previous work, but this one I feel like it's a conglomeration of my thoughts, my feelings, all the skills that I've not learned in my life. Because it's essentially a clown show, so it's all about wrongness, Clowns always sort of believe that they can do something. If you ask a clown, can you do it? They always say yes, and they do it, and they fail hard. And when they fail hard, and they play the flop well, that's when we get the laugh. So yeah.
So you see clown there, and a lot of
Yeah.
people's first reaction will be the circus clown, the big red nose, on the shoes and everything. Is that the sort of clown you are?
Like the clown that I sort of do is like physical comedy. I trained with the students of Philippe Gaulier. I haven't gone to Philippe Gaulier Clown School because it's very expensive, but I've trained a lot in the UK with people like Dr. Brownfield Burgers, Mick Barnfather. I've done Dan Leese's course. I've done Anna S. Smith, who's a Spanish clown. I worked with John Wright as well. And it's all like the art of the ridiculousness. So it's just being ridiculous. It was funny actually because when I recently trained with John Wright, he said what we're doing is absolutely pointless. It's not a useful skill whatsoever. And for me, that hit a chord. I was like, oh well, I'm wasting time on my terms now.
Tell us about the show then, Inner Childish, which you're bringing up to Edinburgh.
Yeah. The show is all about how to reclaim your self-worth by reenacting scenes from the Castaway movie. Now, this came from um, a loosely based true story of my own journey of trying to improve myself and trying to understand the world, of the neurotypical world of as we know of it, and I felt quite ashamed of myself for the way like my brain works and the way I don't understand a lot of human interaction and the sensory overwhelm and the meltdowns that I would get just from being like exhausted and overwhelmed. Um, and I wanted to take my power back. And I looked into like healing work and self development and all this stuff. And for me, like when I came across the term inner child, I thought it was rubbish. The whole thing, like, how can you blame an external thing? Oh, it wasn't me; it was my inner child. Oh, it wasn't me; it was my shadow self. Like, I think you have to take responsibility for owning yourself and reclaiming your self worth. And the only way I felt I could do this was to create my own thing. I thought, what can I do? Because when you look at kids, for example, because I worked with a lot of kids, when you tell them like, oh, I'm autistic, they'll turn around and go, I'm Superman. Right? They have no idea about labels or anything. They want to just have fun. They're in the moment and they play. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the same by learning how to enjoy being by myself on my own without needing anyone else's approval. And I'm going to waste my own time on my own terms because I've wasted my entire life trying to please others, trying to speak in ways that neurotypicals can understand me. And I thought, no, this is rubbish. I'm going to take back my own power, enjoy being by myself, and watch Castaway loads of times and use that as therapy. Because what I noticed, sorry, one more thing, what I noticed about Castaway, because Castaway is all about there's a guy called Chuck, played by Tom Hanks, and he works um, in a company like a FedEx company. It's delivering packages and that kind of stuff. And he's obsessed with time, right? He's like, don't waste time. Make sure you send the packages, on time. And he was like complaining to people that it's not on time and you're wasting time. And yet he didn't have time for himself or his loved ones or even to get his tooth repaired, right? And so when he went on the aeroplane to make sure like the packages are delivered on time, it crashes on an island and nature's like, do you know what, F you, time doesn't mean anything anymore. You have to learn to live with yourself, and live moment to moment. And what he sort of realized is like he because he was so connected in his environment and just being, it was like the not the universe, but the environment was talking to him, and he was noticing all this, and he was connected, and all he had to think about was surviving, and the only person or thing he could talk to was a Wilson ball. And he got close to himself by connecting with the Wilson ball. And that's the only thing I could think about. I was like, wow, I need to get in touch with my messy side and talk to my own Wilson ball. So in my show, I go through the main points in my own ridiculous way that I can interpret. Um, and I'm with my own budget Wilson ball. I reconnect with myself through an inflatable poop emoji. That's what I do. So I spend a lot of time going around the circuit, actually connecting with it and practicing in front of a live audience, and it's quite amusing. People don't even know what's going on, and they start laughing, um, and and the more I do it, the more I actually learn about myself as well, and feeling okay with my weird side, because I'm actually like reclaiming my self-worth in real time by doing this as well. Because to play as an adult is quite embarrassing. When I first did clown, I I was like, what are we doing? Why are we playing like kids for? We shouldn't be doing this. This doesn't feel right. But actually, you need play. It's one of the fundamental tools in theatre to connect and play, find the game, and reveal vulnerabilities, because you're not actually acting, so to speak. You are being and playing. You are being an idiot and finding the game, playing, and that kind of stuff. So the whole show is me connecting with the poop emoji and doing the key essential scenes of the Castaway movie. That's what it is.
What has what have you liked about the audience when they've reacted to it? Are there moments that they just enjoy as much as the playfulness as you enjoy?
Yeah, you see what it is, the way I perform quite realistically. So I have a script. I've learned my scripts. But like, it looks, you don't know whether it's real or not because of the delivery. Because a lot of comedians, for example, I'm not a comedian, I'm funny, but I'm still learning what a setup punchline is. I look every day and I'm like, what's setup, what's punchline, what's a joke? I'm still learning that. But like, I've learned how to make things funny, I've learned how to make a word funny. There's a lot of clowns that I've watched. They say things and it's funny. You're like, but there's no punchline. What's going on? And I wanted to learn the craft of that. And people that they laugh, they watch, and I've had different types of laughs. I've had like confusion and then laughing because it's so absurd. And then I've had people just like cracking up, belly laughs as well. Um, because it's very sort of alternative comedy as well. It it feels like when I watch someone laughing, it's like an instinctual kind of laugh, like guttural. Because I'm essentially playing like a universal truth of, I'm playing with shame and freedom and authenticity, and it's kind of like a psychological humor. It's only because I'm not very good at observational comedy too much, the storytelling. I'm not as great as Nate Bargatze, for example. He's a legend. But yeah, I've been getting. There's other people in the audience. Some of them, they don't get it, and that's fine. Not everyone's gonna like your stuff, but then you've got people that really enjoy it. So yeah.
And then you get, as you said, you get to bring it to Edinburgh.
Yep. This will be my fourth show. I did my first show called Narin Oz Addicted to Love, which was a clown show in the car. I only had four audience members at a time. That was very interesting. And all my shows, I have one thing in common. I play around with reality and fiction a lot because it's very interactive, with all the time like sustaining jokes in the eyes. because everything's a joke. Everything is kind of satirical. So I play like Narin Oz is a very sort of like, I know better than you, and then she doesn't, and it's just ridiculous and just ranty. But in this show, it's more kind of like I've become more vulnerable with it and more softer. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because I have people returning to come and watch my work as well. So I think they might get a bit of a surprise. They'll be like, "This is not Narin Oz."
That is the delight of Edinburgh, though. Remind people where we can see the show.
Yes, so my show is at the Mash House, Just a Tonic, in the attic, 4 p.m. every day, apart from the 12th of August.
And that goes right through to the 24th. As always, we will have a link to the box office back at our website, edinburghfringe.thepodcastcorner.com, and we'll link out to Instagram for you, Narin. Would that be the best place to find you online?
Yeah, Narin of Oz.
And we will get links to there as well. Narin, like to talk to you. Best of luck at the Fringe.
Thank you.
And I'm going to have to go away and watch Castaways now again.
Yes. Go watch it.
Narin Oz there with the show Inner Childish. Plays at Just a Tonic Mash House from 4 p.m. right through until the 24th. That's the Sunday. So if you're staying over to the Monday, Narin will not be here. Others will be. Check listings for details. Exactly. As always, we'll have link backs to Narin's show and everything that we mentioned on the Codpast. On the Codpast? What's a Codpast? It's a very bad Fringe poster. That's what it is. Everything mentioned on the podcast will be back at our site web. Yeah, that one's still in Britain. It's not as funny, is it? Yeah, edinburghfringe.thepodcastcorner.com for all of those details. Link, like, love, share, subscribe, the usual social media stuff. It's always appreciated as well if you're listening to us in a podcast app or a directory listing or things like Spotify. You have the option to leave us a star rating. Please consider it. Press the button for 4-star, but make it feel like you're pressing 5-star. Yeah? Great. Thanks. Catch you tomorrow. Been listening to the Edinburgh Fringe Show, hosted by Ewan Spence, produced by the Podcast Corner for Spence Media and Radio 6 International. Listen to more from the Fringe at edinburghfringe.thepodcastcorner.com.